By the pastor had sparked angry protests in several Islamic countries. Well, what's the view of Muslims here in the UK? Sky's Mark Stone is at the Faithful Faith Mosque in Morden in South London for us this afternoon. What is the reaction where you are, Mark?
Okay, you heard the pastor there talking about a radical element of Islam. I think the men and women here are about as far from radical as you can get, really. They are having a very big day. It is, of course, the last day of Ramadan, depending on which branch of Islam you represent. The last day of Ramadan today, Eid tomorrow. 10,000 men and women gathered here today to represent and to reflect on that last day of Ramadan. But they also had a last-minute meeting just before the main prayer service today, a multi-faith meeting in which Christians and Muslims, there were representatives from the Catholic Church, the Anglican Church, and they'd organised that meeting simply because they were so upset about what this pastor in Florida was planning to do. News that he has, for the moment it seems, decided not to go ahead with it. He's only really trickling through to them. As I say, they've been in their prayers for an hour or so, so they're only beginning to find out that. They will be very pleased. There wasn't any anger here, Kay. It was just extreme upset, really. I'm joined now by Rafiq Hayat, who is the national president of this particular branch of Islam. Could you give us a sense, first of all, sir, why you decided to organise that multi-faith meeting this morning?
Well, you see, what was happening, that in a lot of Muslim countries you could see violent demonstrations taking place, and there was no voice of reason coming through. And we felt that there has to be a voice of reason in this very difficult episode. So the best way we could do it was to bring all the faiths together and show solidarity in face of what was going on in the States. It's very sad that one person who represents only 30 people can create so much chaos in the world. And if indeed he had gone through with this would have created demonstrations, violent demonstrations throughout the world. And it could have led to perhaps people being killed for no reason at all. And however, having said that, I think what the positive side is that what he has shown is that at the moment in the West we feel Islamophobia means that everyone thinks that radicalization only takes place in Islam. But what he has shown is that radicalization can take place in any faith. And we should be careful not to allow that to happen, you know, whether it is Jewish faith, Muslim faith, Hindus, or Christians, or any faith. Radicalization is the thing that kills it.
And you exchanged scriptures, didn't you, inside? You gave the Quran to all members of different communities that were in there. Talk to me about that. Why was it important to do that?
Well, of course it was symbolic, but you know, a lot of the people who came, I'm sure that most of them have already read the Quran. They were scholarly people, but symbolically, because of the burning of the Quran that was threatened, we felt that it was important that we should give them copies of the Quran, which they can take home and keep it with them, and maybe some of them will read them on a regular basis and get knowledge from the Quran as well.
All right, sir. Well, thank you very much indeed. And Kay, one argument that's been going around here a lot really is the suggestion that perhaps we all should have just ignored what the pastor was doing. But what people are telling me is that you cannot ignore something quite as inflammatory as this. You have to stand up to it and tell the world that it is wrong.
Okay, Mark, thank you. Do let us know what you think. Lots of